Special meeting of the Liquor Control Commission for September 18th. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Attendance. Clerk Simpson.
Commissioner Kruger?
Present.
Commissioner Brady?
Here.
Commissioner Vito?
Here.
Commissioner Papantos?
Present.
Commissioner Lang?
Here.
Commissioner Vogel informed the board that he would not be here this evening, and Chairperson Horker.
Here. Approval of the minutes. Need a motion to approve the minutes for September 5th.
So moved. Second.
Motion, Commissioner Lang, second Commissioner Papantos. Roll call.
Commissioner Kruger?
Yes.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner Vito?
Yes.
Commissioner Papantos?
Yes.
Commissioner Lang?
Yes.
Chairperson Horker.
Yes. Citizens' concerns and comments. Clerk Simpson.
Members of the public may address the committee with comments regarding only those items that are relevant to village business. No citizen shall speak for more than 5 minutes without consent of the committee. Members of the general public who wish to address the board must sign the request to speak form prior to the commencement of the public meeting. Ms. Wilson?
Madam Clerk, can we just correct that? This is the committee meeting, so it would be committee business.
It will be what?
Committee business?
Committee, with committee business. I'm sorry.
This is the Liquor Commission, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to express concern over the renewal that the Kolsak Funeral Home got for the liquor license. It goes against public policy. I think that when people are in grief, they're more likely to drink. People that maybe never would drink might be more likely to drink when they're in grief in ways that are not responsible. And you know, you're going out onto the road to drive. Just doesn't seem, seems like a money-making venture and not one that is going to help the grieving or the people that are on the roads. I'm also concerned that you appointed John Kolsak to the police commission because the investigation has not been completed about the use of that public vehicle when he was seen driving it in funeral processions for the business of Kolsak's. And I'm concerned that the law enforcement officers
Ms. Wilson.
will have a difficult time
Ms.
if he
Wilson,
has the capacity to determine their job stability.
Ms. Wilson,
yes.
that is not a thing, that is nothing that the Liquor Commission can actually address. That's nothing we can do about that. This commission cannot address those concerns.
May I continue, please? I'd like to talk on the same subject, please.
Relevant to liquor business?
I moved past that portion. I'd like to move on to the appointment of John Kolsak to the Police and Fire Commission, because I think it really puts law enforcement in a bad situation if they have to enforce the law, the code, the rule book.
It's a village board item, Mr. President, not a liquor commission item. She can bring that up at the village board meeting.
Could you bring it up when we're done with the Liquor Commission?
I have a different topic for that meeting, and I'd like to finish what I'm saying right now.
But the subject you were talking about has nothing to do with the Liquor Commission.
Trustee Vito recommended that he brought up the Constitution. If there's an opportunity for redress of grievances, if you can't get answers at one place, you can get it in another. And when I attempted to contact the Board of Fire and Police Commission, my email was blocked.
I don't know how the email works. I know how email works.
When I attempted
This
to
is the
inform them of
Liquor
things that
Commission.
were relevant to the Board of Fire and Police Commission, my email was blocked. They were not able to receive it?
Again, this is not a liquor commission matter. The rules of the liquor commission require that these topics be related to items under the jurisdiction of the liquor commission. Those rules are reasonable in scope. She has an
President Hooker,
opportunity
I have attempted.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Within the next 5 minutes to bring up this topic to the village board.
Business is very
That's
brief.
the more appropriate
The
time.
liquor business is very brief tonight. It'll be actually less time than you've already spoken while we get our business done, and then we'll have the regular meeting. Thank you, Ms. Wilson.
Mr. Meehan? Pardon?
I'm on the list next.
Yes.
Actually, I have a gift for the village. May I give this to you, Mr. President?
Sure.
So that in your hands right there is a book called Shut Up, The Bizarre War That One Public Library Waged Against the First Amendment.
Is this a
Featured in-
liquor matter, sir? Is this
featured in
is
that
this
book.
about the Liquor Commission?
Featured in that
You
book
have the
are many
right to, I know what you're going to say,
chapters
sir.
about Klein Thorpe
You have the
Jenkins,
right to bring that up at the
which is an
village board.
attorney that is representing you here at the Liquor Commission. The Liquor Commission is accepting legal advice from this attorney at Klein Thorpe Jenkins. Klein Thorpe Jenkins is a law firm that has a long history of giving public bodies bad legal advice. I heard about what has been happening at these village board meetings. You've already broken the Open Meetings Act repeatedly by not letting this woman speak about any topic she wishes. The OMA does not allow you to censor or decide what someone can and cannot speak about. There are binding opinions on this matter. This law firm, Klein Thorpe Jenkins, lost repeatedly. I defeated you in Orland Park.
You didn't defeat me, sir.
Orland
You didn't
Park had
defeat
to
me,
pay
sir.
$67,000.
Stop pointing your finger at me, sir.
You are not allowed to dictate to me, sir. You are not the chair of this board.
Sir,
And I have the floor for 5 moments,
Okay.
according to the Open Meetings Act.
well, but according
This
to our
is a-
rules, it has to be relative to the liquor.
Your rules cannot supersede the Open Meetings Act, which says that the public can come and speak on anything that they wish. That's also a constitutional right. It's
That's a
First
misstatement,
Amendment
Mr.
protected
President,
right.
of the Open Meetings Act. The Open Meetings Act
The Liquor
provides that
Commission is
we can have
accepting
reasonable
advice
rules
from
that
an
govern
attorney,
speech. Your
And that
rules
is
are
not a
reasonable.
reasonable rule, sir, as
It's-
has been decided
it's-
against Dennis Walsh, James Fessler.
Sir, you have,
E.
in the
Kenneth
next
Ricker.
5 minutes, you can bring all of this
All of
up
these
at the
things.
village board meeting.
This is a matter for the Liquor Commission because you've been accepting advice from this man. I want you to be aware, he does not know what he's talking about. His law firm has a reputation of being a firm that a board goes to when they want to willingly break the law, because it's a firm that tells people they can get away with it, but they can't. This is the firm
Completely, sir.
that bad
It's
board
defamatory.
members turn to and hire.
Completely defamatory.
It's completely accurate is what it is. There's
Completely
666 pages of proof of that, sir.
Oh, the whole book is about,
It's quite a bit of
Is
it.
that
I've marked
right?
the pages that are about your law firm, Klein Thorpe Jenkins. But this board, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. This is the first time I've heard of anything going on in Wheeling. We'll be spending many months together as we investigate everything that you've been up to. But I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Some of you look like very nice people, but you're taking bad legal advice that's going to get you in a lot of trouble with the PAC and with the Chancery Court. So that is what I wanted to speak about at this moment, because it is pertaining to the Liquor Commission, because you're taking advice on matters during this.
Kind of an abstract.
But again, you
Justification.
violated my rights repeatedly by, first of all, allowing him to speak. He does not have the floor. He's not a board member. That's a violation in itself. So really, I should only be being directed to from you, President Horcher.
But when I
So-
tried to get you to stop, you wouldn't listen to
Well,
the
unfortunately,
rules.
I have the floor for the 5 minutes. I don't know how much more of my time is remaining.
Couple
but-
minutes.
I have presented you with a gift to the Village of Wheeling. It is a copy of our book. It has many relevant chapters in it that show that Klein Thorpe Jenkins willfully gives wrong advice. They know they're giving wrong advice when they give it, and then it gets public bodies in trouble.
Are you Fox or Dujan?
The Village of Wheeling is a great place with really great people, and you don't want to have to shell out money for unnecessary settlements by listening to bad legal advice that gets you in a lot of trouble. That's what I came here to say today to the Liquor Commission, because I don't want to see you do what you've done in these videos to people that is illegal, and you're listening to a man that's getting you in trouble. I don't think you know how bad of a legal advice they get and how bad of a law firm. It is a public menace, if not a criminal enterprise, because it's like one of those law firms in a John Grisham book that the mob goes to when they want to break the law. Bad board members go to Klein Thorpe Jenkins to break the law because you tell them they can get away with it, and it's just not true. And thank you, President Horcher, for my time. I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
That's it.
Thank you, Clerk Simpson. New business.
Consideration of a request for Class I liquor license from Clearbrook in an event to be held on November 11th, 2017.
Mr. Spondilis.
Thank you. As the title indicates, this is a